Hi, it's Rory from counsellingtutor.com, and I'm here today in Manchester at the Manchester Institute for Psychotherapy with Karen Burke, who is a Gestalt therapist. So thank you, Karen, for agreeing to be interviewed.
Oh, you're very welcome. Welcome to my practice room, Rory.
Yes, we had a look at your practice room. You can't see it all on the camera, but it's very comfy, very safe.
Good, thank you.
And I'm very you, Karen, if I may say so.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe not for now, but I may ask what that means a little later.
All right, okay. That's a whole different video, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, today I want to ask you about Gestalt Therapy. I know a lot of people on the channel have asked about what Gestalt is. A lot of people have maybe seen the Fritz Perls video, that very famous video, the 3 approaches to psychotherapy with Gloria.
Yes.
And I'm interested in talking to a contemporary Gestaltist, and that's the term you'd use, is it for yourself, a Gestaltist?
Yes, it is, yes.
So, what is Gestalt?
Gestalt still holds the same tenets that Fritz Perls wrote about back in 1940 and 1951. However, it is interpreted in a different way and possibly in complete contrast to the quite confrontational attitude that Fritz Perls had in the Gloria video that you referred to.
We'll see a clip of that now. We'll put a clip of that now in, and you can just see that that kind of confrontational style.
Are you a little girl?
Well, no, but it's the same feeling.
Are you a little girl?
This feeling reminds me of it.
Are you a little girl?
No.
No, at last. How old are you?
30.
Then you're not a little girl.
No.
Okay. So you're a 30-year-old girl who's afraid of a guy like me.
Well, I don't even know if I do know I'll be afraid of you. I get real defensive with you.
Now what can I do to you?
You can't do anything, but I can sure feel dumb, and I can feel stupid for not having the right answers.
Now what would it do for you to feel dumb and stupid?
I hate it when I'm stupid.
What would it do for you to be dumb and stupid? But it put it so like this. What would it do to me if you would play dumb and stupid?
It makes you all the smarter and all the higher above me. Then I really have to look up to you because you're so smart, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You butter me up right and left.
I believe that today we actually focus on the relationship. To be fair to Perls, he did.
Yes.
However, I think as far as our approach is concerned, I think that is what's changed.
Yes.
I think that for Perls, it was about contact. However, the way that we approach that, I think Gestalt therapists do have the ability to be confrontational and to challenge their clients. However, that is when a therapeutic alliance has been made.
Right.
And because it's all about the relationship, then I think that people can sometimes feel that Gestalt is unsafe and that it would be very confrontational and very challenging initially. And my belief is that that's once the relationship has actually matured to a certain level.
Right.
I think it's very, very genuine. I think it's very, very honest. Gestalt is about what's happening between you and I, and in that we actually do disclose only for the good of the client and to further the therapy.
So you've talked already, you've talked about contact and you've talked about the challenge, and in the Perls video he talked about clear and equal and present time.
Yes.
That you share the same reality.
Yes.
And one of the things that really sticks in my mind from the video, and I'll put a link in the downstairs in the bar below so people can see it, is he talks about any way of any escape to the past or the future is seen as a way of avoiding. Now, is that still the same idea?
Absolutely.
Yes.
As far as the here and now is concerned, that's absolutely central to the work that we do. everything is about what's here and now. However, if someone is still traumatised by something that has happened in the past and it's affecting them in the here and now, that is a way, that's our approach. So it's not that we only ever work with, you know, what's happening today. It's not about and it's the same for the future. Of course, Gestalt psychotherapists work with anxiety.
Yes.
Anxiety is about fear of what's going to happen in the future, and as far as how we regulate ourselves, particularly as far as our breathing. And so
that's interesting. It links into a physiological aspect of the human.
Absolutely, because Gestalt is an holistic therapy.
So now we're getting to it.
Yes. eventually. It's about awareness, and it's an holistic therapy.
Right,
there you go.
Body and mind. Mind and body.
Yes.
Yes.
Mind and body, and with the mind, it would be including. Well, Pearl spoke about the 3 zones.
Yes.
And it's the inner zone, so what's happening inside of me. It's about what's impacting me from the environment, so anything else that's not me.
Yes.
However, there's that middle zone.
Right.
It's what's happening between you and I.
Right here,
Right now. Yeah. It's sort of those thoughts that I'm having. You know, am I doing a good enough job for Rory?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's about that middle bit. And it's about the relationship and how we relate. What is it about me that you relate to?
Yes.
What's the bits that actually you go, ooh, to?
Right.
Yeah.
So this links in really to really building a therapeutic conduit, doesn't it? A connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, you know, and that's why the very foundation, it is about here and now, and everyone will say that.
Yes.
So, to go back to what you originally said regarding Pearls and his video with Gloria, we do work with what's happened in the past, because if it's not worked through, if it's an unfinished gestalt, then it needs to be worked through, so that know can have closure. An unfinished gestalt, unfinished business, something that's
a lack of completion.
Absolutely.
And I know from the kind of, I'm not a Gestalt trainer and I'm not a Gestalt therapist, but what I've read is that there's no direct translation for the word Gestalt.
No, there isn't.
So what would you say to if you had to translate it?
Oh gosh, go on, put me on the spot. It is so much. It's so much. For many people, and I agree with this, that the sum of the parts is greater than the whole.
Right.
It is about, just because I could strip a aeroplane bare and put in all of the thousands of pieces that actually make up an aeroplane.
Yes.
If I lay them all out on the tarmac, that doesn't make an aeroplane.
Right. So it is a completion.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And so, you know, people who see me here today as a Gestalt psychotherapist, some people may know me as a trainer, some people may know me as a supervisor, some people may know me as a neighbour, a friend. There are, you know, people will see me as a family member.
Yes.
And so just because what people see here today, I am so much more than actually just what I present.
One facet.
Absolutely. Because beyond who I am sitting here, I also carry with me everything that has gone before me.
Yes.
So all the transgenerational things. So, you know, my Italian heritage, my the fact that my father was a Cockney.
Yes.
So I carry all of that with me that may not be all, you know, immediately available to everyone.
Right. So into subconscious, to some extent, subconscious.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Or for a Gestaltist.
Yes.
We would talk about what is out of awareness. Because I think that brings us on to one of the really, again, it's for Gestalt, it's about gaining awareness. So if someone comes to me and they wish to work through a dichotomy or an issue they have,
Sure.
it will often be, should I do this or should I do that?
Yes. A clash.
Absolutely, yes. It's this.
Yes.
And so often we can see when we start to work through that there may be other options available. However, it's about the growing awareness. I have no investment actually in their choice to how they choose.
From your point, it's value free.
Absolutely.
Yes.
However, it's about how they make that decision, what they block out, what they are drawn towards, and of course underneath that, actually who they're doing it for.
Yes.
Because so often we make decisions not based on our own self-interest.
Yes.
However, it may be built upon an introject, something that we've swallowed whole.
And that's interesting.
Before.
So there's a connection between the person-centred world and the Gestalt.
Absolutely.
You talk about introject.
Yeah.
In the person-centred world, we talk about introjected values.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a similar in the same way. You know, they won't be 100% the same. However, they're very similar, as TA would talk about injunctions.
Yes.
And in Gestalt, we talk about swallowing whole. And so, as little people, we swallow whole what?
Children.
Yes, as
children.
As children.
Yeah.
We swallow whole what our parents and what the elders around us tell us. It's not only parents. I'm really big on this.
Yes.
Yes, of course, parents are influential.
Yes.
However, so are grandparents, so are neighbours, so are schools,
media,
teachers.
TV.
Absolutely, these days.
Yes.
However, we swallow whole. We take those rules in.
Yes.
And as I say to people, sometimes these rules are really good. You know, now when I step on a pavement and I look left and I look right and I look left again, that's an absolutely fantastic introject to actually hold on to.
Yes.
Because it keeps me safe when I'm walking across the road.
Don't put your fingers in the electric socket.
Absolutely. Great.
Don't do that. If you're anybody watching, don't do that.
Yeah. We definitely advise do not do that. Yeah. It's a good rule to hold on to.
Yes.
However, as an adult, I can be choiceful.
Yes.
And again, choiceful, I'm talking from a Gestalt point of view here, because it's about choices. So when someone comes to therapy and there is a dichotomy, it's about them recognising their choices and them gaining awareness to how they are and how they work through that, and working out for them if, as I said, who's it for.
And I guess that's the challenge in the therapy, isn't it? Because you're going to be asking them to look at difficult areas in their life.
Absolutely.
And I know when we've done pieces of work together, when we've done demonstration work, which I'm very grateful of, I am aware that you not only go for how I'm feeling and the thoughts, but also about how I'm physically feeling.
Absolutely. It's really very important. And a tool that I use for and from Gestalt Therapy is the Gestalt Cycle of Awareness, as it's known. And with that, the very beginning of it is sensation. Sensation that we feel in our body. Now that may be a physical sensation. Sure. It may be, in some cases, a thought that arises.
Right.
However, it starts in our body. And in the same way as Van der Kolk back in 1998 turned round and said, you know, the body keeps a score. Often we are desensitized to what is happening in our bodies. We don't take note of that gut feeling.
Yes.
And in Gestalt, we will raise awareness of that gut feeling.
Yeah. So now we're really having we're really seeing, I think, now in just in that, how Gestalt is different maybe from person-centred therapy or TA or CBT, because it's first of all, it's actually asking people to look at the whole vista of their lives,
Yes.
and how that's informed them to the person they are. It's asking them to think about their physiological reactions.
Absolutely. And it's amazing how many people really can't get in touch with what's happening
Yes.
to them physically.
Yeah, and I can give you an example of that. When we did some work, I remember this very clearly. You said, "What's that lump in your throat?" I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
But you said, "What's that lump in your throat?" And what the process for me was really interesting, because I can remember the answer. I was dehydrated and I just needed to have a drink.
Yes.
But I guess for somebody who has got an issue, that's a physical manifestation
Yes.
of what's going on for them, and you're bringing out of awareness into awareness. Would that
Yes,
be right?
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And obviously, we talk about swallowing down a feeling as well.
Yes, yeah.
And so, again, a lot of the everyday cliches that we use, we actually bring into Gestalt. I certainly bring into Gestalt, as far as what are you swallowing down. And if you remember the phrase that I used earlier, as far as swallowing down and introject.
Yes.
And we talk about, you wouldn't eat a whole peach. And people go, well, I do. Of course I eat a whole peach. I eat the skin. No, please don't swallow the stone. Because that would be indigestible. And it would sit there. And it would be terribly, terribly uncomfortable.
And that links back, doesn't it, to what you were talking about earlier, when you were saying as children or as young people, we take in absolutely everything.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like part of the work is just to work out what is okay for us, in an okay position, feeling safe and secure in our world,
Yes.
and what we might want to remove, the stone
Yes.
from our history that we've eaten. Is
That's
that
right,
Yeah.
yes. That we sit with, and yet it's terribly, terribly uncomfortable for people.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of the work will be as far as dislodging that uncomfortableness.
So some of that may be around what, shame, fear?
Yes, shame and fear, and also the need to be wanted, the need to be seen as okay, the need to always be what I've always been. If I don't fix it, how will my family manage?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
If I don't do this, I might not want to do whatever it is. And again, within Gestalt, we like to name language. Again, this is where it comes back to the holistic therapy.
Yeah.
Language is very important, and for people who know me well, that is, maybe they've worked with me either being a client, even the supervisee. No buts in this room. And that is just one example, and it's usually done with humour.
Yes.
And I know that it is taken with warmth and generosity.
Yes.
However, we often don't consider what we're saying.
Yes.
And using the idea that but negates the beginning of any sentence.
Absolutely.
So therefore, can we put in another adjoiner?
Yes.
That maybe, and again, I'm a great gesticulator.
Okay.
So, rather than saying but and getting rid of the first one, how about if you said that sentence again and you used something else to join it? Try it out with and.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
And you could try this out if you're watching this, on your computers or your tablets. Just think about when you communicate with people and you say, well, I'd like to go on this great holiday and I'd like to go, and then you say, but. And then you carry on. Everything before the but is not really, in the Gestalt terms, and in fact there's a lot of other theories, NLPs would say that actually, basically, it might have not worth saying it.
Yes. And of course, NLP was derived from Gestalt.
Oh, so then we've learned something else.
Yes.
And indeed, person-centred drew a lot of its tenets from Perls. So a real sense of language, how we use language, helping clients gain a different language, a sense of their physiology, understanding their physical responses.
Yes.
An understanding of looking back across their history, an understanding that they're a construct of everything that's been.
Yes.
but they are also a construct of anything they can be.
And if you were going to say that.
There we go.
No books in this
And
room.
I'll start again. We'll all be laughing at home now. I'll start again. So
I am teasing, you do know that.
I know. And also, it's very difficult to say, but and also, and there's a challenge in that, isn't there? It is, yeah. And also realising that they have the ability to change.
Absolutely.
Acknowledging the past, but ability to change the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rory. That's
So,
lovely.
Karen, it's been wonderful to hear your practice, and I've seen your practice. I've been on a lot of your training courses. Karen's a trainer, and I'm incredibly inspired by the work that Karen does. I've not been a client, but I've seen, we worked in a skills or a modality-based interaction, and it certainly taught me a lot about challenge, appropriate challenge, about being really real in the relationship. So that is Gestalt. So Karen Burke,
thank you very much. I know that we haven't touched on everything that's Gestalt, so I am very aware of that. And I know that we haven't got enough time today.
So maybe we could do another video.
And thank you, Rory, for the opportunity.
You're very welcome. Comments below. So put some comments downstairs. We like to hear what people think of the video, especially when people are taking the time out of their busy schedules to come and sit, and it's taken a couple of hours. We've had to set the lighting up and set the sound up and everything. So please put some comments below. Let's have some feedback. And as always, thank you for watching.
Thank you.